Hi, in this video we are going to see what is readability. Readability is not only related with the reader but also with the content. It is the level of which ease or difficulty to understand by the reader while reading the content. As an extension service provider, we have to be very much careful who would be our reader and what are the necessary things to do to make our content more easy to understand by the reader. So that our target is to make the content or any literature which is available to the reader to make this content as very user friendly or reader friendly. While preparing any text for the farmers, we have to use very shorter sentences, simpler words, pruning of unnecessary words in the text and using of positive words in the text, because most of the readers will prefer the positive statements rather than negative. Finally, we have to listen the text. That means you write as we speak. It will reach audience as a one-to-one communication like that. We can measure the readability of the existing text. For English literature, we have ready-made tools to measure the readability of the content. So let's see how to check the readability. We can check the readability manually as well as with the help of online tools. We will consider this book, Handbook of Agricultural Extension, to check the readability. By seeing this book like this, we cannot say that it is difficult to read or easy to read unless we will make some readability test. Sample is a randomly chosen paragraph at least consisting of 100 words. Like that, we have to take 3 samples out of the whole literature, which are selected very randomly. After that, we have to count number of sentences as well as number of syllables from each sample. Let's start doing that from this book. First, we have to select any sample randomly. Suppose like this, we have to take one paragraph and make some identification. After few pages, we have to select another sample, then make some identification. Then again go to the another sample and identify this sample and make some identification. Then come to the first paragraph, that is the first sample. Start counting the number of words in the first paragraph and identify a 100th word from the first paragraph. Word number 1 to the word number 100 can be called as a sample 1. Highlight the 100th word for the reference. Now, from the first sample, start counting number of sentences. Sentences are the series of words which will be end with the full stop, paragraph, etc. From our first sample of 100 words, we have received around 9 sentences. After counting of the number of sentences in the first sample, then count number of syllables. Syllables are the vowel sounds of the words. We usually see 1 to 3 syllables per word. Let us see how many syllables will be there for our first sample. By counting like this, we got around 161 syllables per 100 word samples, that is from our sample 1. We can say the total number of sentences in our sample 1 is 9 and total number of syllables are 161. By repeating the same exercise with the sample 1 and sample 2 as well as with the sample 3, we have received around 9 sentences for sample 1, 8 sentences for sample 2 and 8 sentences for the sample 3. The average sentence length for the sample 1 we can calculate by the formula number of words by number of sentences. By calculating for the sample 1, we have received around 11.11. For sample 2, it is 12.5. For sample 3, it is 12.5. Number of syllables for sample 1 we have around 161. Sample 2, it is 154. For sample 3, it is 149. If we see what is the average syllables per word, we can have a formula. number of syllables by number of words. For sample 1, by calculating an average syllables per word, we have received around 1.61. For sample 2, it is 1.54. For sample 3, it is 1.49. If we made an average for the data for the 3 samples, number of sentences we have around 8.33. Number of syllables 154.67. Average sentence length we have received around 12.03 and average syllables per word is around 1.54. This is the data. Let us understand what is the readability of our literature. According to the Flesch, if our available literature is having average sentence length is 8, it is very easy. If it is 25, it is very difficult to read. Let us see where our data falls in this continuum scale, that is from very easy to the difficult. Our average sentence length is 12.03. That means it falls between 11 to 14. That is easy to fair read level. Syllables for 100 words we have around 154.6. That means it falls between 150 to 158. That is fairly to the standard. So that we can say with our data, our literature will fall between fair reading level to the standard reading level. We can test the Flesch readability ease with the following formula. If the readability ease is 90 to 100, it can be understood by the 11-year-old student. If it is 60 to 70, it can be understood by the 13 to 15-year-old students. If it is 0 to 30, it is best fit for the university students. The readability ease can be calculated with the following formula. If we use our data for this formula, we have received the readability ease is around 64.425. Let's see where this 64.425 falls. It falls around 60 to 70 score. That is, it can be easily understood by the 13 to 15-year-old students. The book Handbook of Agricultural Extension we considered for the readability test according to the sample data and the following Flesch readability test. This book is fair to standard to read and can easily understand by the 13 to 15-year-old students. Till now we have seen the complete procedure of manually checking the readability of any text. This manual checking of readability is laborious, tedious, and it can accommodate some human errors like that. But for proper understanding of the concept, we have to learn this. Now let us see what are the online tools available to check readability. It is very simple. Within fraction of seconds, we can get the accurate answers. You just go to the Google from your browser and search for the readability test online. You will be directed to this website where you can find the readability or you can test the readability. Any content online or offline, you can get readability in fraction of seconds. Let's see for the online. Here I found a research article. You copy the URL of the research article and paste in the relevant place in the website where we have to check the readability. The moment when you click the calculate readability, you immediately get the readability of the content what we have pasted there from various readability indices besides Flesch readability index. Number of sentences, number of words, number of difficult words, everything we will get in a fraction of seconds. Besides pasting of URL, you can directly add some text here by copy and paste in the relevant place provided in the website. The moment when you click the calculate readability, you can get everything, the readability score from different readability indices. It is advised for every professionals to test the readability of the content they have prepared. By considering the capacity of their consumers and the readability of their content, every professional has to change the style of writing or preparation of any content for their consumers to improve our content more reader friendly or user friendly. Thank you.